Why does Unilever's stock keep dropping? People say it's a great company, so why does the price keep falling? They say if we buy stocks of products we use, we'll make a profit, but I'm just seeing loss. When will Unilever stock go up again? We're going to discuss all of that in this video. Unilever is a prime example of a company that performs well, yet its stock price has been declining from 2018 until today in 2024. The drop hasn't been small, it's more than 80%. For context, from 2005 to 2018, Unilever rose by 1,200%. If you had invested 10 million IDR in 2005, it would have turned into 130 million IDR by 2018, and that's excluding the dividends they pay out twice a year, usually around July and December. In 2018, Unilever was the fifth most valuable company in Indonesia, ranked just below BCA, BRI, Sampoerna, and Telkom. It's no wonder that many big funds or mutual funds felt obligated to include Unilever in their portfolios. When I entered the capital market around 2017 to 2018, I remember vividly that Unilever was the most common example used to show a good company with a stock price that always goes up. Even the Indonesia Stock Exchange's campaign, #YukNaBangsaham, used Unilever as an example because it was easy for laypeople like us to understand. So, the saying, buy stocks of products we use, wasn't entirely wrong at the time. But you have to understand the context of 2018. Back then, it seemed almost impossible for a stock this good to collapse. In 2005, Unilever's net profit was only 1.4 trillion IDR. By 2018, it had grown to 9.1 trillion IDR. The profit grew by 550%, while the stock price rose by 1,200%. It's not surprising that the market expected Unilever to keep increasing its net profit indefinitely. However, in 2019, Unilever's net profit dropped to 7.4 trillion IDR. The stock price finally broke its uptrend from its peak because everyone started questioning, why is Unilever's profit down? What happened? Performance was further worsened by the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, the impacts of which are still felt in 2024. Consequently, 2024, likely to fall to 4 trillion IDR if nothing changes. We can see that the stock price closely tracks the decline in performance. If you compare the charts, 2018 was the peak for both net profit and the stock price. Since then, the price has plummeted by over 80%. It's no surprise that many people now call it a rotten stock. Actually, the signs of decline were visible as early as 2018. While the net profit looked higher than 2017, many forgot that in 2018, Unilever Indonesia sold its spreads division to other investors for 2.9 trillion IDR. They gained a one-time profit of 2.1 trillion IDR from that sale. If you exclude that one-time gain, their core net profit in 2018 was only 7 trillion IDR, which was already lower than 2017. The signs were there, and the pandemic accelerated the decline. Because it was a prima donna stock, held by everyone from retail investors to big funds, the continuous failure to show improvement led to relentless selling pressure. The drop was so severe because the valuation back in 2018 was simply too high. This is similar to Microsoft during the dot-com bubble in 2000. It hit a peak, crashed, and took 17 years to return to those levels. This didn't mean Microsoft was a bad company. Everyone used Windows back then, just like they do now. It was a great company, but it was bought at a bad price. This is the question on everyone's mind. Unilever Indonesia is still a company with good operations and over 40 brands we use daily. With an 80% price drop, the valuation today is much more reasonable than it was in 2018. Is it cheap now? Not necessarily. If performance keeps dropping, the stock price will keep dropping. The only way for Unilever to rise is to show that its performance can increase quarter over quarter and year over year consistently. What we can do is monitor their financial reports every 3 months. Don't make it complicated. Just check the net profit. Is it still falling? Has it stabilized? That's a good sign. Is it increasing? But be careful. Don't get excited too quickly. Check if the increase comes from operations or other factors. For example, in 2024, there are rumors they might sell their ice cream business for around 7 trillion IDR. Don't be shocked if the net profit suddenly spikes. A profit increase not caused by operational activities is a fake increase that should be excluded from your calculations. That's all for this video, and my message is always, don't be shy to learn about stocks from scratch.